Hi everyone, happy Saturday. How you guys all doing? I'm DC Gomez and welcome to my home in East Texas. I hope everybody's doing fabulous. For those of you guys who don't know me, I am an indie author. I am also a motivational speaker. I am a trainer. I am a coach. But above all, I am truly a dreamer. And this is the reason I started this series. I wanted to motivate and I wanted to encourage people to dream and to help everybody to get to the next best lesson in their lives, to actually take some leaps of faith. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is doing it afraid. So hopefully I want to give you some examples from my life. I want to give you some stuff that I've learned throughout these years and kind of help you to kind of take those leaps of faith with me and kind of get you to the next step. So, but before we start our lesson, let's talk books. So last week, for everybody who joined me, we did all things Intern Diaries. So we had an amazing discussion, great feedback from everybody. So if you're joining me today and you're in the group and you're watching this, hey, put some notes. Let me know you're here. Tell me you're hi. Say some comments so I can know who's with me today. So that would be great. So last week we talked all things intern. So we did something kind of a little bit exciting with everybody. What we decided to do was to do a giveaway. So we did a Constantine giveaway. So for everybody who kind of remembers, what I ended up doing is I did a free book. We were going to do an autographed Constantine autobiography, as I call it, since Constantine takes to claim he's doing everything himself. So the question for the giveaway was simple. For all my Constantine fans, everybody watching the Constantine world, is in one of the two cities that the book takes place in ancient Egypt. So you were supposed to send me a note, send me an email of what city, one of the two, Constantine took place. So for us, by the way, huge shout out to Miss Jeanette who won the giveaway. So the answer was either Memphis or Saqqara. So for you guys who are into ancient Egypt, Memphis was the first capital of the New World Egypt when upper and lower got combined. So just a little history for you. So Memphis was the first capital. Constantine goes between Memphis as well as Saqqara. So, we have some fabulous people joining us today. Hi, Miss Laura. Hi, Mr. Julio. Glad you guys are joining me today. So, yes, so the Constantine giveaway was definitely one with Miss Jeanette. So she'll be getting her book this week. Woohoo! Congratulations. So here's the new huge announcement that I had going on last week. So last week I said I was going to work on doing the audiobook for Constantine, my friends. So let me explain something. I underestimated the amount of time that it was going to take to do an audiobook. So I have realized sometimes I have unrealistic expectations and I think how bad can this be? Few hours, 8 to 16 hours later, we do have an audiobook, and the audiobook, and I showed the podcast, is available for free for everybody. It's on my podcast. It's on anchor.com/DC-author Gomez. So for anybody who wants to, who enjoys audiobooks, the book's available for free. So I usually kind of joke with me. So when I do massive projects in my life, I kind of take prisoners. So if you've been around me long enough, you realize you might get signed up to do some work with me because I need some help. So this time, my brother, not because he's my brother, so the talented Jose Antonio narrated the book. So I am so thrilled. So we are all so surprised at how talented he was, even my parents, because they're like, "Ooh, who's that?" So Antonio actually decided to bring this book to a whole different level. Like Constantine has found a voice and is definitely my brother. So for you guys who enjoy audiobook, it is available now. It is free. It's going to be up on the podcast. So check it out. Enjoy it. Woohoo! And Julio is double checking that it's definitely Memphis, ancient Egypt. Nice job, Julio. So hey, big shout out to the fabulous Miss Miracle. By the way, we do have an interview on the podcast with Miss Miracle. So if you're looking for some fabulous authors, just a big plug, check out the podcast. I had the opportunity just to listen to some incredible friends and get motivated. Every once in a while, I need some inspiration myself. So talking to authors has done it and given me some big kudos in terms of what does it mean to be an author. So today we talked about doing it afraid. That's kind of what I wanted to kind of bring you guys up and hopefully get everybody a little bit inspired. So I want to tell you a couple stories. So I hope you guys bear with me. So back 2018. So I decided to, beginning of 2018, I want to say January, February timeframe, I had this idea that I totally wanted to start doing public speaking, and I wanted to teach, and I wanted to get a lot more prepared. That was my goal. I wanted to be able to do it well and feel comfortable. So I did a search and I came across the John Maxwell team. So for anybody who's not familiar, I recommend to looking at it. If you are familiar with John Maxwell's books, he's one of the leaders in leadership training, amazing speaker, gets you all pumped. So with that in mind, I was like, hey, this is great. I signed up for it. No idea what I was doing, like 90% of my life. It's okay. So I decided to join the John Maxwell team. The first thing they were doing there, they were teaching a class on Think and Grow Rich, the book by Napoleon Hill. So if you guys have read the book, heard of the book, give me some little hearts in here so I know that I'm not the only one. The book's about 75 years old. It's a short little read. What I didn't realize, and there's a book recently called The Secret, it's kind of the same premise. I didn't realize the book had a secret, my friends. I don't know how I missed it, but like many things, I read the book quickly. I was like, oh, that was great. Probably got some things more than others, and then I put it away. Didn't go back to it, didn't actually delve deep into this book. So when Paul and Roddy Galbraith decided to actually teach this. So when I actually have done this little talk before. So if you guys have seen it before, I hope you guys bear with me as well. So I did this talk with the Empower community about last month. So Paul Martinelli, who at the time was actually the president of the John Maxwell team, was the one teaching it. He has a community on Facebook that's amazing with Paul Roddick, who is an amazing public speaker. So it all kind of came back together, some tying these things out. The book came out. I read the book. He started teaching. So Paul said, you know, as he delved into the book, he said, there's a secret. And I said, okay, do I know what the secret is? Because I had no clue, let's be honest. So the secret to the book is, in order to turn your actual thoughts into riches, in order to translate internally to transmute this, your actual thoughts and your actual goal has to be an all-consuming obsession. So let me break this down to a more practical term, my friends. At the time, I had one book. Back in November 17, Death Intern had come out. It was new. I was excited. But was my all-consuming obsession? No, let me be honest. I was terrified. Here's the reality of the matter. I had one book and I almost looked, and I can kind of joke about it now. A few years later, I look like a drug dealer. I had little postcards. I gave them to people and then I ran. Like, we could not have a conversation. This was not a discussion. I couldn't talk about it. I felt what most authors every once in a while, even most artists says, a little imposter. Yes, I have a book and I wrote it, but I wasn't sure where I fit in. I didn't know that I actually belonged in this community. And I was truly afraid that if somebody found out about it, they were going to kick me out. I don't know where they were going to send me. 12 books later, people laugh because they're like, so you're not an author? It's a mental thing. We all go through this. So at the time, no, it wasn't my all-consuming obsession. I was terrified to tell anybody that I wrote a book. I was terrified to talk about the book. I was terrified to talk about the book. I wrote a fantasy book. Let me be honest. So if you haven't read Death Intern without spoiling it, the book is all about this little vet who happens to go to East Texas, and she meets death. So let me add some magic and some fantasy. So if you don't like fantasy, this book might not be the one for you, because the rest of the series, we just add more fantasy. Come on. We go from witches to zombies to vampires and everything in between. So let's be honest about this. So here's the part. No, it was not my own consuming obsession. I was terrified to tell people that this little girl wrote a fantasy book who lives in East Texas in the Bible Belt. And it's all about questioning what you think and all these amazing things about, is there a supernatural world? Do we have angels? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? Is there a devil? So here's a little bit, and then we're talking about homelessness. So he asked another question that kind of hit even harder, by the way. Miss Miracle, I love you. Thank you, sweetie. So it is always very flattering when you're amazing writers that and you know how talented they are. I think you're amazing. Like, it makes you very humble. So for Miss Miracle to give me a shout out, I love you, honey. So thank you for everybody who's listening to. So here's what's going on. This insane little series decided. So he asked, and this is the part that actually hit home. Are you willing to invest in yourself? By the way, I am a professional student. I have no issues admitting. I have notes everywhere, in case you guys are wondering. I take notes nonstop. I make all sorts of charts. I love graphs. I am a nerd. Let's be honest, my friends. I have no issues. And anytime I don't know something, I need to research it. I love it. But am I willing to invest in myself was a different question. And do I truly believe that I was worth the risk? Because I'm asking everybody to take a leap. Believe it or not, I'm asking every reader to commit to me. I'm asking you to make an investment in me. I'm asking you to, one, give me some time because I want you to read my books or listen to them. I want you to give me some money every once in a while because eventually I want you to pay for the books here and there. But are you willing to invest in you? Like, that was the part that hit home. Am I really willing to invest in myself? So you have all these things going through your head. So the first month of this entire little program was very heartbreaking for me. You know, I didn't have an all-consuming obsession. I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in myself. For the love of God, I wasn't sure what I was doing at this time. I wasn't sure if I had a business, if I had a hobby. All these things came rushing through. So here's for the blessing and the beauty of the world that they actually step into the next level. They introduced the term, doing it afraid. So when Paul said, can you do a scare? That stopped my fears. It stopped the thoughts in my head. And I call them my little demons. You know, we have a good angel and a bad angel. We have little demons in the back of your head. You have those gnawing thoughts that tell you, you're not good enough. You really shouldn't be doing this. Do you seriously think you can do this? Let me tell you, my friends, it is incredible to actually have somebody to tell you to do it afraid. Why? Somebody needed to give me permission to actually dream. So let me give you a little bit of background. By the way, I have the amazing Miss Cindy with me, and she has known me. Oh my God, Cindy, we have been friends over 16 years. Can you believe this? This is amazing. So here's a little story most people don't know. Here's where those fears that I keep having to fight come from. I am full-blooded Dominican, born and raised in the Dominican Republic. We moved to the States when I was 10 and a half. So English is not my first language. And usually every time I say that, people stop, blink, and go, and you speak English really well. Been in the States for 30 years. I kind of we still have to evolve. Let's just be honest. We needed to pick up another language. That's okay. But the one thing that happened is I got to the States in the 6th grade. So the basic grammar concepts that the United States teaches, I missed them. So I had to learn English as a second language from a whole different perspective. And the grammar is, I still to some extent hear things like in Spanish. So there are some things that the English language completely kills me. For whatever reason, and everybody who knows me, including my brother, just laughs to death. And my mentor and beta reader just goes, you have issues with this. EDs and grammar and past tense is not my thing. I cannot hear it, my friends. This is the thing. I cannot hear the ending of those. And the words in English do not sound like Spanish. You don't write them the way I think, and they're not pronounced the same way that they're written. So to actually have to overcome that, in the back of my mind, there's always those voices, those people, those teachers and those people that meant well that said, yeah, you're not good enough for that. And I believe them. You know, I believe them. So when he said, can you do it afraid? There is a lot of fear that I was carrying. There is a lot of insecurities. And there was a lot of misbeliefs that I had to overcome to get to that point. So I decided, okay, he said, I can do it afraid. What does that mean? It meant that it doesn't have to be perfect. We all want to do things when we're perfect. We all want to hit that train called perfection. My friends, that train's not coming. You're going to be sitting like that, book of Dr. Seuss, waiting. And we're going to wait for a while because it is not coming. So if you're waiting for perfection, let it go. It is not coming. So let me give you this. Miss Rosie is joining us. I have Miss Greg. Oh, thank you. So yes, for you guys who understand, a second language is not easy. When you decide to delve deep into the second language and decide to write on it, you have to overcome those demons that said, do you honestly think you're good enough to write a story that somebody's going to want to read? So here's what I had to do, and I'm going to give you some tips, I promise, not just horrible little stories of this. Here's what happened. When Amazon came back and said, we're going to make self-publishing available to everybody, they broke the mold. They created a place for people like me who actually don't need to ask permission from an agent. I don't need to ask permission from a publisher to create a story and make it real. The catch is, and here's the part that I had to know, there's a prize to play. And I love this phrase, and I read, and one of my trainers said it very well. You do need a good cover, check. You do need a good description, check. You need a good story that is edited. If you guys have been seeing my journey, my editing process continues to evolve. So the biggest compliment I get every day is like, hey, your books are getting better. And I'm like, thank you, Father. I would be very disappointed if they weren't. Probably sad if they were getting worse. But that has been the process. One of the things that I had to overcome, my love, is to truly say, you're going to get better. And actually put the stuff out there. What do I do? How do I do this? I'm an introvert. I am inviting you to my home, and this is not a joke. This is my office. If I had a choice of what to spend my day, like most writers, guys, I'll be sitting on my couch typing. Why? Because this is the sexy part. Like, this is the part we enjoy. If you're an artist, if you are a painter, musician, the creation process is the sexy part. This is the part where I thrill at. The getting it out there in front of people, my friends, let's be honest, that's the terrifying part. That's where the business comes in. This is where the left and the right brain have to get together and say, we're going to do this. And sometimes they don't agree. I don't know if about you, but they don't technically want to play together. And if you're like me, it was like, it took a while to become an introvert. So I am doing Facebook Live. So you want to hear an example of doing it afraid? This is it. Doing it afraid has become my mantra, my friends. So the fact that I can't back out because I'm afraid, because this is what I told myself, has become something that I have to hold on very well. I am terrified of Facebook. Well, let me take it back. I was terrified of Facebook. I only listened to the horrible stories that I heard from other people, and I didn't realize this potential. I didn't understand that I could build a community, that I could have friends like you guys, that I could connect from across the world, that I could build a tribe. So I had to dispel many disbeliefs in my own head. And then I had to do a couple of things. So here's what I had to do, my friends. Let's get down to some really simple things to give you some practical advice. I had to do some research. I had to decide, one, I'm going to commit to myself. This little girl deserves it. Why? Why not? I needed to do something, and I needed to take a step. But I needed to feel comfortable, so I joined some classes. There is some incredible teachers out there. I took some YouTube. I did some online training. I've been to face-to-face classes. I did it. This is what I needed. I needed to feel prepared. So I took some classes. So I invested in myself. If I wanted you guys to invest in my books, and I needed you guys to know that I'm giving you as much as I can. Like, I am pouring my heart and soul. By the way, if you read Judgment Day and you cry with Isis, I cry with you. So we're all in this together. But I needed to commit, and I needed to make it real. I needed to honestly, truly give you something to actually get you guys all excited about this. So I committed to that. Then I decided I needed to build a tribe. I needed to build a community of people that will help me. So I ended up being blessed by mentors. So here's a huge, I think it's Chinese. I think it's a Chinese saying that goes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I have been blessed with teachers. I have been blessed with friends. I have been blessed with incredible people that have poured into me when I least expected. Not because they needed something, not because they were looking for something, but because they truly believed in these dreams. And this is what I want you guys to know. You're not alone. You have a community, and I'm here to pour into you, believe it or not. And Miss Miracle asked me, hey, by the way, are you going to read from your books? This is another one of those of doing it afraid. So I am going to do it, I don't know when, just because I'm afraid of it. Anytime something comes in my head, it's like, oh my God, I'm scared. It means I got to do it. So yes, be prepared, my friends. I will be reading from my books, and hopefully you guys don't get my voice stuck in your head. That was one of the things I was told when I was starting is people had a hard time separating my books because they hurt me. So if you don't mind getting hooked on this, it will be okay. And huge thank you so much, Miss Laura. So yes, Mr. Greg, you can ask any questions at any time. I'm here to answer. So you can stop me at any time. So don't worry about what I'm talking about. If you have a question, just put it in the chat. I will answer when we go along. So that's not a problem. So we can go through this. Don't worry about it. And Laura, thank you, honey, because I need some encouragement. I definitely need to know that we're going there. So here's what happened. 3 years later, I would like to tell you that the fear goes away, my friends. I would like to tell you that it gets better, that, you know, it does get better, but I would like to tell you that somehow it clicks and you are going to be this thing and you got this and you're never going to feel afraid. Nah, that's not the case. Let's be honest. I'm getting ready to start book 13 and I realize I'm afraid because I'm dragging my feet. I have notes everywhere and I haven't started. Why? It's those butterflies in your stomach. It's those things that don't go away. But it's the fear that tries to keep us safe. It's the fear that tries to say, You might get hit by a car, look both ways. But it's the fear that sometimes you have to be aware. So things you have to realize, is the fear truly keeping you safe, or is it holding you back? Sometimes our fears just hold us back. Sometimes our fears are just there just because somebody else, if your fear is based from your past, then let it go. That's not the case. So here, my friends, let's talk a little bit about it, because I really want to get you some points. What is those dreams? And I want you guys to give me some comments. If you're there, let me know. What is those dreams you're holding back? What is those dreams that you know in your heart, I need to do this. My life would be better if I did that. Whether it's writing one book, we eventually will talk about defining success. So don't worry about that one. Just tell me what it is. What is those fears? What is those fears about taking the class? I have a friend that said, by the way, I want to go ahead and finish my degree. But what is it good for? What is it going to happen? So one of those things. So, we have a comment. So let's see if we can go through the comments, and you guys are probably reading it with me. So just in case, Mr. Greg Kelso, which, by the way, if you guys haven't read his book, fantasy, amazing, love him. And he always gets dressed up. So when it comes to motivating myself to get to the conventions to the next level, he's the one that I always look at. Visualizing the stories in my head with many different versions. Okay. We're going to see progress in your story. So let's talk a little bit about, and I'm going to answer these questions because I really want you guys to think about it. So if you are a writer, or if you're an author, if you're a business person, my brother says anything that you want to do, if you don't write it down, then it's just a wish. If you want something to come to true, you have to write it down. What is that process? Here's what I do, my friends, and this is something that I truly, I am a planner / pantser. For those guys who you guys don't know, is the pantsers are the people who sit down and just let the muses come through and right away. My muse leaves me about page 30. I don't know where she goes. I don't know what happened. We start on it. We're here. And then I'm by myself. So here's what I have realized. I have notes everywhere, and I am addicted to index cards, in case you haven't realized. I have them all over the place, my friends. But I write them down, and then I kind of drill them down. I don't believe there's such a thing as a bad idea. Sometimes what I want you guys to realize is you have to let these seeds take root. A lot of the times what I have realized is most of us get an idea and we automatically crush it. We kill this poor baby before it was born. We don't let it take root because we're convinced it's not good enough. Deep breaths. Let the baby come through. Let the idea, write it down. If you have an idea, I like the fact that you're getting ready to do a Western. Yes, write it. Let it. You will know in your heart when it's time to do it, as long as you can talk through those fears. Don't let the fears talk you into not doing it. But yes, there is no such thing as what is the progress. Sometimes I have 5 different series that I got in my head right now that I have little outlines for, that I've been working on it since last year. Then you put a plan together. What is my outline? How fast can I write? How fast can I execute? What do I need to do? And then I have to be realistic. I have readers who want their stories first. So then you put them in order. So yes, we need to be very, very realistic. If your writing is one of your goals and you need some help, send me a note. I'll help you there. Writing, I know when I'm not writing. So for any one of you who's an author, any of you who's an artist, any one of you who has a passion for anything, Elizabeth Gilbert, if you guys read her book, Big Magic, has this quote that I have embraced. She says, if you are in the arts, if you're an artist of any creative sorts, this is the part. Your art has to come through. If not, it's going to be in your life. So if your life is full of drama, it's because you're not putting it on the page. You're not putting it on the canvas. You're not writing the music. So when you're finding yourself, and I know this very well, and I think that people around my circle know it very well, when I get all sorts of drama and I start having fights with people and I get all into my feelings and I get all emotional, it's because I'm not writing. It is that simple. Somebody asked me why I write. Yes, I look at success, and yes, everybody wants to make the money. Yes. Why? Because we want to do this all the time and we just play. But at the end of the day, if nothing came, if money didn't come, if success didn't come, would I still write? I have to, or I will go crazy. This is the part. I have to write the book. I have to write the stories. I'm a storyteller. There is this hole in my soul that just feels empty when it's not. I had to come to terms with that. So what are we talking about? You got stories, you got ideas, you have things to do. My friends, let me give this an advice. Do them. Yes, do you need to do some research? Do some research. Figure out what it takes for you to invest in yourself. Figure out what that market is. Figure out what is going to be your definition of success. How are you going to feel empowered with this success? And success is different for all of us, believe it or not, my friends. It is not, some times your whole goal is, I want to write that novel. Think about the writer for To Kill a Mockingbird. One book. And she was Harpist, was happy. One book. If you want to be Stephen King and you want to write 50, write 50. If you want to be a musician and all you want to do is play it in your house, then play it. I have friends who are painters and nobody's ever going to see their paintings, but they love it. So yes, if you're wondering, my friends, today, if I can get you out of your way, should you take the next step? Should you do your dream? Should you do the business? Should you take the leap? Yes. Why? Because you're worth it. Because your dreams deserve to be born. Because your dreams deserve to come alive. Because you, at the end of the day, deserve to live your best life ever. The most empowered life. And sometimes, my friend, the most empowered life means taking those risks of faith, taking those leaps. Is it going to be easy? If it was easy, somebody tell me everybody could do it. By the way, every time I hear that, it drives me nuts. I'm like, but everybody should do it. Why not? Why shouldn't we be living our best lives, my friends? Why not? This is the catch that I want to tell you. So my motto has been, and I tell everybody all the time, if this little Dominican that literally English is not her first language, that came to this country with this dream, this little Dominican that found out that I am in love with storytelling, I'm in love with video production, I'm in love with these things, decided that at the late age of 30, by the way, let's be honest, my friends, I was not in my 20s when I started this. Everybody feels I'm too old. My friends, I'm 41 and decided to do a podcast. Come on now. There is no such thing as age. I tell my parents all the time. And by the way, my mom is online. Hugs and kisses to Lisette, Cecilia for joining us, Cindy. I love you guys. Let me tell you this. At 41, and I know you guys are like, girl, that's not old. If you're not saying it, you better be saying it, by the way. I hope you're saying this because it ain't old. Not anymore. Once you hit 40, 40 is the new 20s. Come on. I tell my parents, I make this look good. But this is what I embrace. I am officially like wine. I better get better with age. Why? Because I have found myself after so many. Yes, thank you, Greg. Age is nothing but a number. So we need to remember that. So I decided, everybody says, you hit a midlife, you're going downhill and you're getting ready to die. It's like, whoa, slow down, my friends. That's not the case. At 41, I decided to take this crazy adventure and start a podcast. Really? We're going to do a podcast? What are you going to talk about? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk to friends. We're going to talk to artists. At 41, I decided we're going to start a TV show on Facebook and go live. Really? Yes, we're going to do this. Why? Because life is short. And every day that we wake up, we have an opportunity to recreate ourselves. Every time the sun comes up, you have an opportunity to be somebody new. You have an opportunity to be somebody absolutely your best version. I learned that in the military. Every time you move to a new location, you become somebody new. You become somebody special. You become the version of you that you want. I would say your kids, if you don't have any kids, your puppies, your furry friends, you want to be that best version of yourself that looks in the mirror and goes like, girl, boy, look what you've done today, and celebrate it. So every single time I get out here, my friends, let me put it this way. I am terrified. This is one of those things. I spend half of the day on Fridays and Thursdays going, are you doing this? Are you seriously doing this? Who is going to listen to you? What do you have to say? Every time I do a podcast, I'm always, by the way, Miss Miracle, I love you. Craig, I'm waiting for you to give me a call because we're doing this. Who's going to want to talk to you? Why are these amazing, talented people want to talk to you and be invited? Why in any powerful world would anybody want to hear it? We all have a story, my friends. We all have a testimony. We all have a platform. We all have something that we can give back. So this is what I challenge you today. Whatever dream you have, whatever plans, whatever business, whatever goal, whatever's burning in your heart. And if your heart says today, baby girl, you're going to make a garden, go make a garden. Baby boy, you're going to go learn how to play the guitar, play the guitar. Whatever that dream is, life is more than just a rat race. Life is more than just getting up, going to work, coming home, eating dinner, and going to bed. Life is making these dreams come true. And your dreams don't have to be like anybody else. Your dreams don't have to be what society tells you are. It can be anything. Your dreams can be truly just being yourself. Do it afraid. Why? Because the fear is not going to go away. Perfection's not coming. None of those things that we search for are going to be here. So let's get it. So here's my challenge to you guys. Write it down, whatever that is. Do not kill your dreams, my friends. Don't do like what most of us do. We jump in here and go like, oh yeah, this is what we're going to do, and you kill it. Don't kill your dreams. Please, please, please don't kill your dreams, my friends. Let the dreams take root. Let them kick in. Let them fill your soul. Write it down. And if you need an accountability partner, I am here for you. Send them to me. Why? Because I'm going to motivate you. Let me put it this way. Let me help you out. Woohoo! Craig, announcement coming after the 1st. That means next week you're going to tell us about it. Okay, I can't wait. Let's do this. I'm waiting for this announcement. If you need an accountability partner, if you need somebody to tell you, hey, DC, I need you to hold me accountable to hold this dream, call me, send me a note. I'm here for you. If you need somebody to believe for you, I will hold that candle for you till you decide to get to where you need to be. This is what we're here for. This is what this community is. And this is what I really want. I was always wanted to say, I keep talking about the podcast. I think I at least should tell you where to find it. This might help. I always wanted to encourage people. Everybody has a passion. Everybody has a platform. I'm a healer. There's nothing I can do. And I want to be able to get you to your next step. Why? Because I have had some amazing people that pour into me when they didn't have to, that love me when they didn't have to, that believe when I didn't believe in myself. You know, to this day, my parents are still pouring into me going, you know, every time that I'm going, am I going the right way? You know, I have to have the business side of the house. My best friend has to tell me, it's like, you know, it's a business. Take it easy, little girl. So my friends, I know I have talked and you guys have been amazing. If you think somebody in your life needs to hear this, if you think somebody in your life is having those moments with her questioning, am I good enough to follow my dreams? Share this with them. Send it to them. Tell them. If this little Dominican girl, who by the way, it's a little crazy, I can admit this, decided that it was time to take a leap. It was time to step up. It was time to follow those dreams and do it afraid. Then let them know they can. Let them know that they need to. Let them know that whatever those passions, whatever that might be, it truly needs to come. And if you need an accountability partner, I got you. I will help you get accountable. You might not like me at the end. I might not be sweet and kind and be like, oh, I just want to quit. You're not going to get that from me. I'm not going to be the one like, yeah, you're right. It's too tough. Quit now. I didn't have anybody who did that. All my people decided to tell me, really? Now what's next? What are you going to do? Step it up and keep going. So my friends, I really, really, really hope that you feel empowered to dream, because I am excited and bubbling with excitement for you, because I know you have this and I know you can do this. And I'm excited to see what everybody can do. Next week, we're coming back. We're going to talk all about persistent. So if anybody had a superpower, persistent is mine. Let me just tell you this. I am officially, and Julio, yes, thank you. Good kind of crazy. That's all me. Good kind of crazy. I love it. I have a superpower. It is being persistent. So I'm going to give you a little tip that I joke about. And if my brother Miguel is hearing, please don't tell him. So one time Miguel said, I'm not sure if you had any talent. And I was like, ooh, really? And he goes, but girl, you're persistent. And if anybody can do it, you are persistent. So let me explain this to you. I definitely have a superpower, and it is being persistent. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to hopefully get you pumped. If not, at least you know, like, hey, click, girl's crazy, move to something else. Hi, Miss Jenny, for joining us. Kisses and hugs to you too. So yes, let's make you guys, we're going to take you to the next level. We're going to definitely get you to those dreams and ideas. So if you guys are interested in finding more about me, primarily because I created all these buttons that I need to share, because I'm all about these little buttons in my screen, which is awesome. So if you're interested in it, you can find me on my website. You can definitely find me on Amazon. I have an Amazon page. Who would have thought? Little girl has an Amazon page for books. That's even better. So you can find me on Amazon. You can find me on my website, but obviously you can find me here on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I went from being an absolute, completely terrified of the social world to deciding I'm afraid means I have to do it. So we need to get on it. We need to get prep. We need to get pumped. And you guys need to find me. So yes, you can send me notes. You can send me emails. I am definitely available. So another plug for the podcast. Check it out, primarily because it took me a lot of time to edit this audiobook. So take a look at it. Take a listen. Send me some notes. Tell me what you guys think. My goal is really simple. If everybody likes it and enjoys it, and you guys want to support it, Anchor has a way of doing it. We might do more. So do not tell my brother, because that means he has to do more reading. I don't know if he's ready for that, but yes. So let me give you some Lots of hugs, lots of kisses, lots of blessings. Let me give you a blessing for the day. If you haven't heard it, if somebody hasn't told you today, you're amazing. If somebody hasn't told you this week, you're powerful, you're incredible. If you haven't heard this from somebody else, you are officially the most beautiful person, the most talented person that you ever come across with. And I am blessed, and I'm getting all teary and I apologize. I am blessed to have you as part of my tribe. Miss Kayla, thank you for joining us. Lots of kisses. I am blessed for you guys. I'm blessed for you guys for sending me notes. I'm blessed for you guys to help me in my growth. And I want to give it back. I want to give you guys some love, and I want to make sure that you know you're truly the most powerful thing we have. You are truly going to change this world. And please, please, do it afraid. Why? Because we got to do it somehow. So lots of kisses and loves. Send me some notes. Let me know what you guys think. We're talking persistent, my superpower, next week. And I will see you all again. And until then, be safe, have fun, and go do it afraid, my friends. Happy Saturday.